Humans of the Cardboard, we have super hype reveals tonight. We've actually got all, but I'm assuming one card for the Vanquish Soul archetype from the deck build pack, Wild Survivors, I believe this is. We've already had Nouvelles revealed. That's the new ritual chef cuisine archetype, and then we've also had what's the name of the other archetype? I'm blanking on them. The dinosaurs, Transcendrakes. There we go. So this is the final one. The other two seem okay, but not amazing. So I'm kind of thinking that this could end up being the most competitively viable one. But I've read none of these cards. So let's get into it. Completely blind reaction. Here we go. This is Vanquish Soul vs Raisin. Very cool. He's a fire warrior effect monster. Level 4, 1800 attack, 1500 defense. Important to note, this is a fire warrior, so he is not only searchable off of Rhoda, he's also searchable off of the Infernoble Equip spell. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn, and you cannot activate them in the same chain. Interesting. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one non-warrior Vanquish Soul monster from your deck to your hand. Whoa! So not only is this Rhoda target and a Infernoble Arms Durendal target, but he's an actual starter. Very cool. Second effect, quick effect. You can reveal the appropriate monster or monsters in your hand to activate one of these effects. If you reveal any fire monster, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. Okay. If you reveal a fire and one dark monster, destroy all other monsters in this card's column. Whoa! Okay, so very cool. So we saw that prior, when Konami had released just a little tidbit of information on this archetype, they had said this is an archetype based around attributes. And that seems to be the gimmick here, is that I'm assuming more of these will be able to reveal certain types of attributes in your hand, and depending on which ones you're able to reveal, you'll be able to get different effects that get better and better. The first effect's meh, the protection's meh, but that destroy all other monsters in the column is not too shabby at all, I would say. I think you could even, not too bad to even just play into boards with that, on top of the fact that it's just a straight up +1 on summon. Very cool. All right, cool first card. Next up here we have VS Panthera. She's a Earth Beast Warrior, so she's actually a Fire Formation tanky target, so a lot of generic cards potentially applying here. 1700 attack, 1900 defense, again a level 4. You can only use their first and second effects once per turn, and you cannot activate them again in the same chain. If you control no monsters in the main monster zones, you can special summon this card from the hand. Whoa, that's just a straight up good level 4 extender. Like, period. Till the end of time, maybe. Yeah, very easy. Even for decks that just are able to make a Link 1, get into a Link 2, and clear those extra monsters, or main monster zones, boom, plop this card down. This card's that's already good. Quick effect, you can reveal the appropriate monster's hand to activate one of the effects. If you just reveal an Earth, this card cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. Whatever, that's fine. If you reveal an Earth and a Fire, destroy all spells and traps in this card's column. Again, we're looking at this, and that's another cool effect that specifically allows these cards to play better going second, and we'll see if they have any way to change their columns, because obviously if we can move their columns, kind of like Mech Knight scenarios, you obviously add a lot of versatility and utility to how you're able to utilize these effects, and not just playing second. Once your opponent's committed to columns, you can go from there, but being able to move them and then go will be cool as well. All right, we get to a high-level monster, a non-normal summonable monster. This is VS Heavy Borger. Cool artwork. All the artwork's cool so far. Dark Machine effect monster, level 7, 2515 for the stats. First and second effects, hardest to return, but you can't do them in the same chain, of course. During the main phase, quick effect. Okay, so the first effect's already a quick effect. You can target one non-machine Vanquish Soul you control, so not himself. Return it to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card from the hand. Very cool. Okay. So that's his extension effect. That's a pretty good extension effect, especially since it's a quick effect. Okay, quick effect. You can reveal the appropriate monster or monsters in your hand to activate one of these effects. If you revealed a dark monster, draw one card. That's not bad, just kind of replaces itself. Pretty cool. If you reveal an earth and a fire, you can inflict 1,500 to your opponent. Okay, this started off better than I was I thought it might have. I think the extension effect is cool. You don't lose any value because it returns the monster to the hand. It's kind of like a Trickstar Lilybell. No, Lycoris. Sorry, Trickstar Lycoris, essentially. Which is pretty good. But the other effects are just not quite as good. I mean, I guess the draws are fine. You know what I mean? Just draw, draw, draw. But the 1,500s, whatever. Yeah, it just kind of felt like this card needed a little bit more. We'll see. Maybe there's a specific niche where this card's able to apply to the archetype, or, you know what I mean? Like normal summoning Raisin searching this guy, and then this guy swapping, so that way you just have a guaranteed Raisin summon for next turn, is essentially the Candina Lycoris loop that we saw way back when. But maybe if the ceiling's higher here, that could still be worth it. We'll see. Next up, we have Vanquish Soul Dr. Madlove. Look at this thing. This is a Dark Fiend effect monster. Level 4, 1,200 attack, 2,000 defense, 2 effects, but you cannot use them in the same chain. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Vanquish Soul, Spell or Trap. Okay, we've also got a Spell or Trap Searcher. Very cool. You can reveal the appropriate monsters in hand and activate one of these effects. If you reveal just a dark, one face-up monster your opponent controls, loses 500 attack and defense. Whatever. If you reveal a dark and an earth, you can return one face-up monster on the field with the lowest defense to the hand. Your choice if they're tied. That's pretty nice because this card's already 2,000 defense, so it's actually somewhat beefy. So anything smaller than that can get returned. And even returning itself could be worth it because then you summon on a later turn. You're getting a search then. That could still be worth it. Cool. I think this is a pretty good one. This is a pretty good comp to your guy, Raisin, although I do think Raisin's still better overall. All right, more monsters. VS Pluton HG. I can't even tell what's really going on in this artwork here, but okay. It's a level 6 fire zombie. Same thing. 2 effects, not in the same chain. During your opponent's turn only, if you control no monsters in the main monster zone, or all monsters you control in the main monster zone are Vanquish Souls, special summon this card from the hand. That seems pretty fucking doable. Okay, cool. Quick effect. Reveal the appropriate amount of monsters in your hand to activate one of these 2 effects. If you reveal a fire, this card gains 3,000 defense until the end of the turn. If you reveal a dark and an earth, this card gains 3,000 attack until the end of the turn. This one's pretty lackluster. For sure. Overall, I think this one seems like the worst one so far. It's an extender on the opponent's turn, but if we don't have legit payoffs for it, we'll see where that ends up going. But, yeah. Okay, next up we have the boss monster, and this guy's the cover card for the archetype, so hopefully he's pretty good. This is Kaiser Varius. He is an Earth Dragon effect monster. Level 8, 3k, 1,500 defense. You can only use one of its 2 effects, but not in the same chain, during the main phase. A quick effect. Target one non-dragon Vanquish Soul you control, return to the hand. If you do special summon this card from the hand, okay, there's that really good Lycoris extension effect, and this card is apparently it looks like, what's his name, Raisin by himself sets this guy up, right? Just search Raisin, return him to the hand, you've got follow-up and this guy on the field. Here we go, quick effect. You can reveal the appropriate monsters to activate one of these effects. If you reveal an earth, this face-up card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects this turn. If you reveal an earth, fire, and dark, oh man, destroy one other card on the field. That is a non-target destruction. That's pretty good, but man, I'm not revealing 3 different cards in hand. You have to hold 3 cards in hand. That is kind of crazy. We will see, okay? There's definitely potential here. He's 3,000. He has a Lycoris effect. He can make himself a towers till the end of the turn, which is pretty good. But, okay. Very, very interesting. Okay, so some very interesting cards. A couple of these monsters really good. I like Raisin a lot. I like Panthera. I like Heavy Borger. And Kaiser Varius as extenders, and even Mad Love as another normal summon. And then Varius, we'll see, you know what I mean, if that effect is good enough. But right now I'm seeing a lot of good potential engine, extension, recovery type tools. I'm not seeing a ton of great interruption, and that's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. If you go first, you gotta interrupt your opponent. But we'll see. Wow. Okay, this is a Link 1. Let's get it. This is Rock of Vanquisher. This is a dark rock link effect monster. 0 attack, Link 1. It takes any Vanquish Soul. Wow, Link 1. Cannot be used as Link material, ever. You can only use the second effect of this card once per turn. While you control a Vanquish Soul monster, your opponent's monsters can only target your monsters with the highest attack with 4 attacks. Their choice if it's tied. So, if you have anything else on the field, any other monster on the field with this guy, they probably have to attack it because he's 0. They should be bigger than that. So he kind of keeps himself from just being able to be walked over inherently, which is nice. Second effect. During the main phase, quick effect. You can only activate one of these effects. Special summon a Vanquished Soul monster from your hand, or add 1 Vanquished Soul monster from your graveyard to your hand. Wow. Wait, that's kind of insane. That means, like, you just normal summon any Vanquished Soul, make this card. This card that turn can just add the Vanquished Soul you linked for it back to hand, and on the opponent's turn, summon it back out as a quick effect. Holy jamoly. There's a lot going on here. I also like that you could summon something else from hand, but add something back up the right attribute that you want to get in hand. Wow. Okay, this is pretty crazy, Link 1. A quick effect to pull these out is pretty crazy. Okay, alrighty. Very cool. Also, keep in mind that if you're adding back either Varius or, not Mad Love, but Heavy Borger or Pluton HG, those are extenders on the opponent's turn, potentially. Just cool. Okay, into the spells. We have a quick play spell here. This is Vanquish Soul Dust Devil. Quick play. You can only activate 1 card, this card, once per turn. Target a Vanquished Soul you control. Change its battle position. Then you can change face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense position up to the number of Vanquished Souls you control with different names. That's really interesting. Just because we're already in a format right now where like Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse type stuff is actually pretty good. The fact that this does not target except for your own Vanquish Souls is pretty cool. You can't do this to a Link monster, but as long as you have any other monster, this can help you play into boards, but it can also help you, interrupt your opponent as well. I think that's a pretty good card. From there, we move to this one, Vanquish Soul Continue. This is another quick play, hard once per turn. Pay 500, then target a Vanquish Soul in grave, either add it to hand or special summon it. Pretty simple. Seems like a pretty damn good card to me. That's just a great extender. I like that this can do either add it to hand or send it to grave, or summon it back, so that way you can choose to either put it on board as more board presence or add it to hand so that you're getting, again, the right materials, aligning the right materials to your hand. Into the traps. Vanquish Soul Trinity Burst. Normal trap, you can only activate it once per turn. Target a Vanquish Soul monster you control. Special summon up to 2 Vanquish Soul monsters from your hand with different names from each other and different original attributes from the targeted monster, but their effects are negated. Also return them to the hand during the end phase. You can return all opponents' cards in that target's and the summoned monsters columns to the hand. Whoa, so that's really the power play there. So it does say special summon up to 2 Vanquish Soul monster from the hand, so you only have to summon 1 if you want. And so you could summon him to a column and bounce everything in that column. So that's a non-target removal that also technically extends a Vanquish Soul from the hand. That also will go back to the hand during the end phase, so you're kind of getting that reloaded. This is not a terrible card. It starts reading like a really stupid like anime type card, and then it actually finishes up with like a pretty insane effect. If you're summoning 2 and bouncing 2 whole columns worth of cards, that is a very, very powerful payoff. Non-targeting to boot. So yeah, that's pretty powerful. Again, they're only searchable off of that one girl that searches, but still pretty cool. And the final trap card we have here today is Vanquish Soul Calamity Kaiser. This is a counter trap. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. When your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster card or effect, that targets a card you control and you control a vanquished monster, negate that card, and if you do destroy that card, then you can inflict damage equal to the attack of one vanquished soul monster you control. This card is officially the worst card in the archetype. It only negates cards that target a card or cards you control, and because of that, this card is ass, just like every other card that's real sole purpose is to give you targeting protection, targeting negation, has never really been good. So yeah, pretty ass. But yeah, everything else, really, really cool. Really, really cool. I think the mechanic is cool. I think we're definitely going to have to smooth out some things, especially since a lot of those best effects seem to be the ones that need 2 attributes in hand, and that's definitely going to be a question mark here. But I do think there are some really cool payoffs. There are some single cards that offer you a good amount of value by themselves, and I respect it. So a lot of really cool stuff going on here. Cannot wait to see what the final card is. Oh, real quick before we finish up here, what's the final card? So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24. Okay, so this last card will either be another extra deck monster, and because this is a link, it would either be a link or another spell. So it's either going to be another spell or a link monster. My guess is a link 2, because this guy already helps you extend more bodies onto the field. But we'll obviously have to wait and see. Very, very interesting archetype. I think there's a lot of potential here. I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head what it would combine with amazingly, but stuff like there can be only one already seem incredible in an archetype like this, because literally you're looking at warrior, beast warrior, machine, fiend, zombie, dragon, rock. Literally every monster in the archetype is a different type, so Tikaboo seems insane. We'll see. There's obviously a lot of other potential here. Let me know your thoughts down below on anything here as far as other cards that or engines that you think could work in here, because I don't know if it feels like it's all the way there by itself just yet, but I want to hear your thoughts down below. So let me know those. I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. Very cool archetype. Definitely, to me, the most exciting of the 3. But that's just me personally. But I want to know your guys' thoughts. So let me know. I'm out of here. Peace. Subscribe. All that stuff. Bye.